Hey, this is chapter 3 of Poppy and Rye. Chapter 3 is called Night Thoughts. Erith moved along so fast Poppy had to race after him. Her cries of, "Hey, slow down, wait for me," were of no avail. Only when they reached the deepest part of Dimwood Forest did Erith finally pause. When Poppy caught up to him, the porcupine was calmly nibbling on tender bits of bark which he had peeled from a tree. It was a dusky place. The high trees kept the light out, but not the heat. The air felt as thick as syrup and bore a smell of skunkweed and rotting mushrooms. "Where is the spot?" a poppy panting asked, throwing herself down on the ground to rest. Though she had always known Dimwood Forest was big, she was beginning to fathom just how small a part of it she had experienced. "The forest," Erith replied smugly. "Amazing," Poppy said, staring around. "Now look here," Erith said. "Where was it that you said you were going?" Poppy, still breathing hard from her exertion, said, "It's called the brook." "Oh, foxflip," the porcupine growled. "There must be 1,000,000 brooks in this forest. Are you saying that's the only name you have?" "Erith," Poppy said, "all Ragweed told me was that it was west of the forest." "Sticky roach toes," Erith muttered. "According to that, it could be anywhere." "No, it can't," Poppy pointed out. "It's not east or north or even south. It's west." She looked towards the sky. Though the sun was hidden behind heavy foliage, it was still possible to find a place in the sky. "Since it's afternoon," she said, "west must be that way." "Fine," Erith conceded. "But how are we supposed to know which brook it is?" "Erith," Poppy said, "we don't need to have all the answers, do we? Can we just keep moving? We've got all the time we need." "The faster we get there, the faster we get back," Erith returned. Poppy got up and started off, and this time taking the lead. Erith, muttering "ragweed" under his breath, followed. The two friends traveled side by side, moving westerly direction. Speaking little, they did not stop until the darkness came. They had not come upon one brook. "I think we better find a place for the night," Poppy suggested. She was quite worn out. "When I travel, I stay in trees," Erith informed her. "That's fine with me," Poppy assured him. "Pick one out that you would like." "Can't just be any tree, you know. Has to be comfortable." "Fine." "Right height?" "Good." "And smell right?" "Just choose one, Erith," Poppy cried. Constantly grumbling, Erith lumbered about in the forest floor, examining every tree that he had passed. Poppy followed, pausing now and again to nibble seeds when she found them. It made little difference to her where they slept. As long as she was with Erith, she was safe. Nobody wanted to mess with him or his quills. The porcupine finally settled down on a fat tamarack pine. Its branches were thick and the smell was pungent. Moving awkwardly from branch to branch, Erith climbed and Poppy followed. Halfway up the tree, Erith came upon a particularly fat branch whose broad width at the point where it grew out was the main trunk made a platform. "I suppose this'll do," he said, and settled down. "Do you mind if I snuggle in?" Poppy asked. "Snuggle?" Erith mocked. "Why don't you just say, 'Mind if I lean on you?'" "I prefer snuggle," Poppy said with a grin, and she settled herself between Erith's front paws, curled up in a ball, and took a deep, relaxing breath. Though the air was ripe with the sticky scent of pine, Poppy detected a smell of nearby blossoms. Loving flowers of any kind, she was happy. The night was full of noises, too. She heard the soft, padded steps of animals and slithering of snakes, the piping of frogs, the chirping of crickets. Now and again leaves rustled in the breeze. The night is dancing, she thought. The stars seemed so distant. How far, Poppy wondered, would she have to travel to reach one of them? Letting slip a murmur of contentment, she nestled closer to Erith. She was perfectly aware he was not the easiest of companions, but she loved him for the good, blunt friend that he was. Besides, whether he meant it or not, he kept her mind off of the sad part of the journey, the meeting with Ragweed's parents. So far, the trip was exactly what she had wanted. She could already sense her grief easing. She was convinced that once she saw Ragweed's parents and delivered the doleful news and his earring, she would be able to return home and go on with her life. That thought soothed her, and she began to drift off to sleep. Erith broke the silence. "Poppy," he growled, "when you tell Ragweed's parents what happened to him, I won't be around." "Oh? Why?" Poppy said with a yawn. "Because it's family fripple. That's why. I hate that garbage." "Erith, you can do what you want." "I do," Erith said. "Always." "Fine." Poppy yawned again and closed her eyes. Then Erith said, "All those stupid feelings. Porcupines get along without that bunk." "Not one feeling?" "For salt, maybe." When Poppy made no response, Erith added, "It's better that way." "How come?" Poppy asked sleepily. "Oh, chipmunk cheese, it just is." Poppy was too tired to debate. Instead, she pondered what she might say to Ragweed's parents, wondering if they would blame her for his death. Yawning, she placed her tail under her nose and soon was fast asleep. Erith stared into the dark. "This is dumb," he said to himself. "I should have not come. Ragweed," he sneered. "Nothing but ragweed. Nothing but sugar mouse slops. Phooey."